Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not, as that may be meant for someone else. All right, so we're going to look at what you may possibly be struggling with, past energy. We're going to look at current energies, what you may need to look at, and then future energies as things that may possibly be coming in for you. All right, we got the cards flipping over already. All right, we have the Two of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords, we have the Hangman, we have the Tower, the Knight of Cups, King of Cups, Ten of Cups. I feel like the Nine of Wands is coming out a lot lately. Three of Swords. We have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck again. That was with the love reading. That was at the bottom of the deck. Working on yourself. Working on a relationship. All right, so for what you may possibly be struggling with is we have the Two of Wands, we have the Five of Wands, and then we have the Ace of Swords. For some reason, when I saw this, I felt like you're arguing with someone, like you're disagreeing with someone. I feel like, or it could be you, like you keep going back and forth. Starting something new, letting something go. I feel like there's something that you're holding on to that you keep, like you're fighting that starting the next chapter. I feel like there could be someone or something that you're holding on to that you're kind of, you're struggling with moving forward. You're struggling with this Ace of Wands and you're struggling with this Two of Wands. You're struggling with taking those initial first steps towards change. Sometimes we get comfortable in a situation and it's like, oh, I don't want to have change. So for this current energies here, what you need to look at is we have this Tower here and we have the Hangman and we have the Knight of Cups. So I feel like it's definitely rebuilding something, that starting something over and seeing that this change actually brings you in. I feel like it's new feelings, new emotions. I feel like it's something new and something exciting is coming in for you. I feel like it's this feeling of safety and security because over here in this future energies, I feel like it's this Ten of Cups that's coming in for you and it's letting go of this Three of Swords. I feel like there can be that, like you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot of emotions. You've been through a lot of feelings. You've been through a lot of the ups and downs. You've been through a lot of challenges. But I feel like it's to not be afraid of the Tower energy and not to be afraid of rebuilding because that's what brings in change. It can be scary going through changes, definitely. It's just like, oh, I feel safe with the way things are. Like, but are you truly happy? And I feel like that's what you need to look at. It's like, yes, I'm used to this. And yes, this is the energy that this is what I've always been with. But is this really making me happy? Is this really what is best for me? I feel like this Ten of Cups is what wants to come in for you. I feel like it's that cozy, safe feeling that wants to come in for you, that is kind of fighting for you. But I feel like that's something that you have to see and that you have to focus on. I feel like you're going through some changes, but you're struggling with it. Sometimes we have those things where it's like we take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and I feel like that's kind of the energy. I feel like that's where you're stuck. I feel like that's where you're kind of going back and forth with. We have Ten of Pentacles, okay? I feel like it's finding those surprises, that not really realizing that, that this, maybe you're questioning, okay, is these changes really for the best? But I almost feel like it catches you by surprise and you're like, wow, this is better than I was thinking it was, and I'm so glad that I made these changes. And that you start to take the actions, right? The Ace of Wands. You start to take those actions for that growth. within yourself. I feel like this is kind of at a crossroads for you, and it's pushing you towards this change, and maybe you're going through it, you know, kicking and screaming, but you're like, okay, once you give in and you start having that forward movement, you're like, wow, this is really good. This is better than I was thinking it was. And I feel like it's that connection with yourself. We have the Lovers here, which is Gemini, but I feel like it's that you're rebuilding yourself, right? It could be a relationship that you're rebuilding, because with the Lovers being right below the Tower, but I feel like it's kind of a relationship that you have with yourself. That's the most important relationship that you can have, is a relationship that you have with yourself. That's the most important one, and I feel like that's the one that we kind of disregard the most. I feel like that's the one that we don't focus on enough, that we don't put a lot of effort into that. Some people do. I'm not saying everyone. I've definitely found that, you know, for me, like that was something that I didn't focus on, but now that I'm focusing on that, like it just makes life so much better, is when I've been focusing on myself and what are my needs, what do I need to do, what, you know, what's most important for me, and that makes me happy, and then that makes the people that are around me happy. Taking that time out to think what makes you happy. What is it that you have to rebuild? What is it that you have to look at? What is built on a false foundation? Because that's what the Tower is something is built on a false foundation, and that cracks and that falls apart. But then it's about rebuilding, right? If it's coming down, then putting it back together and taking that time to yourself to rest and think about those things and putting it back together, but in a way that is best for you, in a way that works for you, that makes you feel emotionally secure and safe and gives you that 10 of Cups. Give yourself that 10 of Cups. You don't have to look for someone else to give that to you. You have to give it to yourself first, and then you can share that with someone else. We have the Star, Hope, the Magician. I like the Magician. I like the Magician because it's like taking things into control, into your own hands, and you being responsible for the actions that you have, and those feelings and those thoughts that you have, and you being responsible for those, and you taking control of all of these, your actions, your emotions, your thoughts, you know, what it is that you're doing, and you taking control of that, and you're saying, yes, I can do that. And it's time for me to take control of it, that maybe you've given that power to somebody else, and now you're like, I'm taking back my own power, and I'm doing what is best for me. Bottom of the deck, Temperance, Balance, Sagittarius, being patient, realizing that this is something that takes time. But I feel like acknowledging that there is a lack, and then acknowledging that you're struggling with something, and then thinking about things, and then taking those actions to make them happen. That's what I said. That's what I've always said, is that it's really good to think about those things, to process them, but it's very important to take the actions and take the steps to make things happen, to make that 10 of Cups happen for yourself, and that you're responsible for what's around you, right? I mean, there are times where other influences come in, but you're responsible for how you react to things and what you do from there, and how you handle those things, and how you look at those things, and how you deal with those things. You know, your relationships, your relationships are a reflection of yourself, the relationships that you have around you, and what are those types of people that you have around you, and how does that reflect back on you? Just some things to think about. Sometimes we don't realize those things. All right, so let's grab a Lenormand and close out. Dice, chance, taking a chance, right? Taking a chance, feeling lucky. Rebuilding, we have the storks. We have the two storks, and they're building the nest here, and he has a piece of the nest there, and he's building together with these people and with the other bird, and the sun is coming through, and feeling positive and rebuilding. But I feel like you have to rebuild yourself first before you can rebuild with someone else. Like, you have to focus on you first. And if you're feeling confident and you're feeling good, then maybe it's rebuilding that relationship that you have, the relationships that you have around you, your friendships, your partnerships, and rebuilding those and working on those. And building those together and taking a chance on rebuilding those. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.